Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Kenzie Retro here, and welcome to the latest round of the X1 division. We are in round 20 of 24. We are at the Shanghai International Circuit here in China for the Chinese Grand Prix. My voice is less than 100%, just for context, because we had the Royal Rumble last night, but I'm not going to go into too much detail regarding that because it was really disappointing last night. But nevertheless, we've got the X1 to pick up the pieces and show Vince how it's done. But nevertheless, joining me in the commentary box, as always, is of course the boss of the league himself, Mr. Cesar Lopez.
Hello everyone, it's another XRL race, another XRL exciting race today. So we're going to be having a great performance. We're looking for a great performance today.
Yeah, exciting is an understatement because we just got the weather forecast through in the last few minutes, and we are expecting rain towards the end of the race as well. So will the drivers be running wet setups?
I'm not sure. Is it just at the end of the race? Let me check.
But anyway, let's go through the lineup very quickly. A couple of things to bring you up to speed on. Prudish Medal is serving a race ban, so he will not be participating this evening. Ultimate is on his way, so Feanor Ultimate will be on his way. Yeah, he's actually in the lobby right now as we speak. He's just not out on track at the moment. We've no doubt got a couple of things to deal with behind the scenes. But nevertheless, let's go through the lineup for tonight's event. You've got Ollie, Waldo, Sasha. Frisbee is back after a couple of weeks away because of wheel issues. He hasn't had a working wheel for the last couple of weeks. JBL has just gone top of the timesheet with 1:32.1. You've got Jacob, Liam, Bullbeast, Zola, Matrix, Starfish, Low, Path, back for another race as well. Hurricane, Ultimate, 2D, Trap, and Gabo. Starfish, meanwhile, he gets the fastest lap so far with a 1:31.703. Got an Alfa Romeo coming up. That's Bullbeast on a starting his hot lap. Let's see what Path can do. He only goes third with a 1:32.3. Only third. That's a bit of a surprise. He's normally up there, potentially top of the timesheets. Absolutely, yeah. Jacobs 2 minutes 2. That's just an exploratory lap. We've got Corrado, who is looking to join the league as well. So welcome along to him this evening. Yeah. So we've only got 4 races to go after tonight, and things have really been spicing up as far as the championship is concerned. A couple of strong results from Sasha over the last couple of weeks have brought him right back into the hunt to make it a 3-way dance for the title with 4 races to go. So I'll quickly try and get the championship standings up and running for you. So, and also regarding last week's race results, Elford Starfish managing to win in Abu Dhabi the last time out, and then you had Waddington in the AlphaTauri finishing second, and Hurricane rounding up the podium in third. Gabo finishing fourth, a strong result for him. Sasha fifth, Low, Torpedo, Bull Beast, Ultimate only ninth. But regardless, Sasha and Ultimate both closing the gap on Frisbee after he DNF'd. And Jacob, incredibly, ended up getting disqualified. Now, I don't know how that happened because I didn't get a chance to watch the race back. But as the Trap House was the only driver to finish out. Well, actually, in saying that though, Trap House actually finished technically 3 laps down because he must have crashed a couple of laps before the end. But he would have no doubt got the fastest lap outside the top 10. But Jacob was given the fastest lap of the race after Frisbee DNF'd. Jacob also got the pole position point as well. So in the championship standings, you've got Frisbee at the top with 174 points, Ultimate with 154, Sasha with 152, very close in that battle for second place. Then you've got Elford Starfish, his win pushing him up to 4th in the standings with 105 points. Path up to 99, he's 5th. Hurricane 6th with 96 points, Trap Palos with 76, Nate 73, Bullby 72, and Ollie with 68, rounding up the top 10. In the Constructors' Championship, you got a very tasty 3-way dance here. Alpine at the top with 294, looking to go for back-to-back titles as Matrix comes across the line with a 131.588, just over a tenth quicker than Starfish. McLaren with 270 points, and Mercedes with 256. Alfa Romeo 213, Williams 203, Ferrari 163, Haas 148, Aston Martin 134, Red Bull 133, and AlphaTauri just 96. So that's how the standings look at the moment. It is anyone's guess what's going to happen here, because we have seen a lot of unpredictable results over the last couple of weeks, and I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw any different here tonight, especially with a fair bit of chaos in the Dev League race last night as well. So Ultimate just coming around the last corner now. Definitely out with a point to prove. 31.6 puts him second at the moment. Here comes Zola. Only a 33.0. He did inform me earlier in the week that he really does enjoy this track on a good day. We'll be losing the slowest 3 cars from this part of qualifying, since there's only 18 drivers. Low coming down the back straight now, good yellow flags. That'll be for one of the Haas drivers. And it is for Trap Polos, just getting out of the way of some traffic. Low round the last corner. What can he pull out of the bag? Only a 32.5, puts him 11th. Gabo, it's a brave call there. He's currently 5th at the moment, 32.0. He has elected to retire from the session. He feels his time is good enough to get into Q2. We've seen it happen previously that drivers who feel that their time is good enough to get into Q2, get into the next part of qualifying, end up getting eliminated afterwards. I mean, I've made that mistake once or twice before. Frisbee round the last corner. What can he do? Oh, beautiful lap. Top of the timesheets. And the 1:31.348. It's just Waldo, Sasha, Hurricane, and Tudi that are yet to set a lap time. And as you'll see in the stream chat, for those watching on Twitch right now, we've got 4 races to go. And oh! Hello? Well, that does not bode well for Sasha at all. He's been disqualified for blocking the pit lane, which means Sasha will be starting at the back of the grid. After strong results over the last couple of weeks, he's got a mountain to climb to stay in the hunt for the championship. So 4 races to go after this evening. Next week we've got Russia, which was rescheduled from earlier in the season, and then you've got the 3 new tracks that got added to the game post-launch. Imola on the 13th, Portugal on the 20th, and Saudi Arabia, interestingly, for the season finale. So that'll be interesting to see how everybody does racing around Saudi Arabia for the first time. Starfish retires from the session. He feels he's happy. He feels his time's good enough to get into Q2, as does Trap Paulos, retires in the pits. A little bit of sarcasm there from Sasha. I would want to say, EA and Codemasters, you did an amazing game, boys. Hopefully the next one would be the same. I can definitely detect a little bit of sarcasm there, because we all know how big a broken mess this game has been. I even said it earlier in the week. What is the point of patching the game if every patch breaks it more? Somebody want to explain? Somebody want to riddle me that one? Rachel. That's fine. Yeah. So, the joys of being a family man for Caesar, but he's doing a great job being able to balance his family life with being able to help with all the ongoings with the league. I mean, that's dedication at its finest. So massive props to him for that. We are, as you can see in the banner on the top of your screens, we are, as always, sponsored by Anti-3D CD Keys and the Driver 61 Academy. Ultimate retires from the session. He's happy with his time. We've got about 3 minutes to go before the end of this first part of qualifying. For those just joining us, Sasha was disqualified for supposedly blocking the pit lane, which means he'll be starting at the back of the grid. And oh, that is glorious from Tudi. 1:31.154, and that puts him top of the timesheets. Could Tudi be a dark horse for the race win tonight? Time indeed will tell. Zola having another crack. He's not quite fast enough. It doesn't look like he's going to have enough fuel for another run. He's currently 17th. And that'll be qualifying over for him. He's doing a bit of Tokyo drift. And that'll be Zola's qualifying over. Path is in a lot of trouble here. He's down in 15th. He could be in trouble. There we go, Path in the pits. That's brave. That is very brave. Is Lowe going to make it round in time to get his lap started? He could potentially knock Path out here. Yes, he will. Lowe has made it round. Oh, big snap of oversteer from Lowe. That could cost him. And he's backed out. Backed out. Path is very, very like. Oh, we've had an Aston Martin go spinning, and that's Ollie on his outlap. That's a real shame for Ollie. Yeah, so Lowe's backed out. That's it. It'll be Lowe, Zola, and Sasha out of Q1. And oh, hello! Where did Bull Beast come from? 131, 138. saying controller OP in China, yeah. So there are a couple of tracks on the game that are fairly overpowered. There we go, let's have some session. So here we go. This is just getting through into Q2. Bull Beast, 2D, Frisbee, Ultimate, Hurricane, Matrix, Starfish, Waldo, Trap, Jacob, Gabo, Liam, Ollie, JBL, and Path making it through by just 0.2 of a second. And you've got Lowe, Zola, and Sasha out in Q1. Sasha disqualified for blocking the pit lane. So we'll see how this all plays out. So now it's strategy time. Who's going to start on what tyre? Now, I have been told previously that it is possible to do a one-stop around here at softs to mediums, but it's a big ask. Depending on the driver, it's a big ask. I mean, realistically, you're looking at a two-stop around this track, but the one-stop soft to hards is apparently faster. But I wouldn't know because our race last night was plagued by safety cars. Zola. Yeah, hard to argue with that. Zola has stated that he is faster in the wet than he is in the dry. And we have seen that happen previously with him. So I wouldn't put it past the realm of possibility of happening again. Liam validating his lap. That'll be something. Gabo, McLaren, Frisbee. So let's go for Frisbee instead. So 1.2, 1.3 seconds is the delta difference between the softs and the mediums around this track. And there's yellow flags there. That'll be for one of the Hasses. That's Trap Paulos. Oh, big snap of oversteer from Frisbee. How he didn't invalidate is beyond me. And that's a 33-0 for him on softs. Yeah, Zola bringing up some of the carnage that happened last night. Those yellow flags. That was just for somebody else. Just get out of the way. Mazzola giving Corrado the down low on there. What's going to be involved? So there's going to be a bit of a shake-up on how on how drivers get put into different race divisions for next season. Basically, you won't have a choice. If you're fast enough for X1, you will be put into X1 regardless. And if you can't race full time, you'll be put down as a reserve, and somebody else will be more than happy to take your spot. And we're getting and once this season is over, we'll be getting a 2-week break, which will be, lo and behold, just in time for the start of the actual Formula One season. Liam currently top of the timesheets right now with a 1:32.0. Bullbeast is the fastest runner on mediums with a 1:32.7. So he could potentially jump Liam by about half a second. All going to plan. We've got a few drivers still to set a lap time. Ollie, Waldo, Matrix, JBL, Path, Hurricane, Ultimate, and 2D. Oh, hang on a second. The small drawbacks of having friends that have phone calls that drag on and on and on. Anyway, where were we? Yeah, we had a huge shock in Q2. No Frisbee, no Sasha, no Path in Q3. That's huge. Tootie, top of the timesheets with a 130.981. Who is going to get pole position here? Is Ultimate going to spoil the party? He's just got a couple of corners to go. Can he spoil the party for Tootie? Bullbeast doesn't improve. He stays at best fourth. Is Ultimate going to get pole? No, he isn't. He misses out by just under 300. Tootie takes pole position. What's Ollie going to do? Can Ollie improve on his position? It looks like he improved his time, but I don't think he has improved his position. So it's Tootie on pole position. There it is. Tootie, Ultimate, Liam, Jacob, Bullbeast, Gabo, Matrix, Trap Paulos, Waldo, and Ollie. That's your top 10 for the race. And this is playing beautifully into Ultimate's hands, mainly for the fact that he does not have any of his championship contenders to worry about up front. He's only got Liam, Jacob, Bullbeast, and Tootie around him to worry about. As we get ready for the start of the race, it's time to get a word from our sponsors.
Are you looking for a more realistic F1 feel in your sim racing? ANSI 3D is the solution for you. ANSI 3D is a 3D printing company based in the United States. We sell F1 style wheels for Logitech G29, G920, and the G923 wheel set with all wheels including high quality real suede fabric on the handles for maximum comfort. All wheels can be fully customized by picking your own colors for the handles and buttons. Also, you get to select a free logo of your choice to be printed on your wheel. We also have all Formula One 3D printed tracks available for sale on our website. For more information or to place your order now, log on to our website at www.ansi3d.com. That's ANSE3D.com. Don't delay, check us out today.
wing at all. That looks like it's a virtual safety car at the moment. No comms at the moment, apparently. No, everything seems to be coming through on my end. Well, that is huge. Both Ferraris at the back of the field. And Frisbee down to 15th. But Sasha, what a start he had. He's already up into P11. This could be another race where we could see Ultimate and Sasha closing the gap on Frisbee in the run, in the hunt for the championship. There was a lot of carnage there at the start. Gabo with a collision with Tudi, and it's Tudi that gets the penalty because Gabo now has no front wing at all. Everybody getting back underway. There we go. So there we go. That's we've got a couple of drivers coming in, and it's Matrix and Gabo both coming in. So Matrix must have been caught up as well, so he'll have a front wing change as well. And there it is. He's going for hards. Gabo going for hards as well. They'll be hoping to get to the end on their tyres. But Ultimate in the lead at the moment. There was a lot of chaos at the start there. So just looking at the position changes. Sasha up 7 places off the start, Low up 6, Hurricane up 5, as well as Path and Starfish. Tudi, who did start on pole, he's down 14. Matrix down 10 and Gabo down 12. Zola only gaining 1 position off the start, but he has, at the moment, he has managed to avoid the worst of the carnage. There we go. Oh, Gabo's gone. That's on the the start of the back straight. That's a real shame. It's another virtual safety car. That's a real shame for Gabo. And that's one of the drawbacks of trying to catch up with the rest of the field. You end up running the risk of making mistakes and potentially putting it into the wall, as I can as I can attest to. I've done that on a number of occasions where I've been trying to catch up with the field, and then I end up making a couple of mistakes and I put it in the wall, and that's me out of the race. Gabo, I'm never using hards again. I've always done my best to avoid hards when I'm racing. I'm just one of those drivers that just refuses to use hard tyres at this point. It was like Frisbee managed to get himself ahead of Low. 2D getting himself ahead of JBL. 2D starting to carve his way through the field, but he's going to need to. He'll need to stop again because I can't see those softs lasting more than 10 laps. But of course, with 2D being in the top 10, he started the race on those softs. I can't see him. I can't see them lasting more than 10 laps. We've got ourselves a pretty large DRS train from Starfish down to low. Path, meanwhile, gets himself into 6th place ahead of Starfish in the Williams. Trapalos gets ahead of the other Williams as Jacob comes into the pits. That's very early to be coming in. Unless Jacob's got damage, that's very early to be coming in for a pit stop. Yes, it's a really big disadvantage. He's having to go right to the end of the pit lane. Now it's just a stop to get the get them in the mediums. What was that? That's fine. Yeah, but as I mentioned earlier, the joys of being a family man. Not really much you can do apart from just like adhere to the environment around you. But anyway, here comes Bull Beast. Ollie's plummeted down here. He's dropped a couple of positions, but Bull Beast has just got himself into 2nd place, gets past Liam and says, "Thank you very much. I'll have a bit of that." Sasha, meanwhile, storming through the field as well. He's just got himself ahead of Hurricane. Ollie trying to get a piece of the action as well, and I think Ollie might have made it stick. No, they're still side by side with Hurricane. And Hurricane manages to keep himself ahead of Ollie. Liam, Bull Beast, and Trap all in the pits. Liam takes the lead of the race. Sasha now into 4th after starting stone dead last at the beginning of the race. And oh, hang on, what's happened to Frisbee? What's happened to Frisbee? He's had an off, and he's dropped a lot of positions. What on earth happened there? That's a real shame. That is a real shame for Frisbee. Starfish is right on the back of Path. Now they may have played an absolute blinder here as far as starting on the mediums is concerned. There's the DRS. Not using any of the battery. Starfish not using any of the battery. He doesn't feel he needs to use it. Brakes a little bit later than Path. Can Path get him on the switchback? Yes, he can. Starfish might have it. Starfish will have another run, heading on to the main straight, and that's Ollie that's gone off. He's gone spinning. Oh, that is brutal for Ollie. He has to wait for everyone to drive past. That is not what he wanted at all. Another nightmare day at the office for the Aston Martin contingent. Starfish still keeping within touching distance of Path, but while all that is happening, Sasha is closing in on this battle for 2nd place as well. It looks like those softs are going to start to drop off in the next couple of laps. JBL gets himself ahead of low on those hard tyres. It looks like JBL will be going long into the first stint of this race. Sasha, that might be touch and go. Did Sasha get DRS detection? Does he have DRS detection? Yes, he does. That could prove dividend. That could prove crucial for him. And here comes Starfish, side by side with Path. Almost almost touching wheels. Still side by side. Starfish yields position now. That's well played. This is now for the race lead for the time being. And there we go. Starfish storms through. Beautifully played into the lead. Very, very well played there. Liam into the pits. 21 laps on mediums. Bit of a stretch. You've got a four-car back. You've got a four-way dance now for the lead. You've got Sasha and Hurricane joining in on the mix as well. So as I mentioned earlier, we've got Torpedo informing us 7 laps into the X3 race, no retirements or safety cars. Hurricane, meanwhile, gets himself ahead of Sasha into 3rd place. This could be the sign that the soft tyres are starting to drop off. Path, first penalty of the day for track limits. Sasha making the wise call to come in and remove those soft tyres. Is it possible to do 20 laps on the mediums? So we've got a very tasty battle for the X3 Championship on our sister channel as well. We'll then see how that's playing out. We'll see how that's playing out later down the road. Starfish is going to have DRS on Path for the lead. Still elected not to use his battery. He's using it. He's using some of it now. just a quick little burst, and that's it. Oh, that's a big lock up from Path. That could prove crucial for the battle for the lead. Ultimate in 7th, and oh, big snap of oversteer from Starfish. He's lost a lot of ground, and he's going to need to make up all that ground all over again. Few battles happening a bit further down the field, one of them being this battle for 5th place. And oh, make that 4th place because JBL's gone off and he's lost his front wing completely. How on earth has he done that? think Ollie has had the same thing happen to him. A front wing change for him. No, oh, come on, Ollie. That's poor. That is really poor. No damage on his car. He's just retired in the pits. That is. Oh, that's really poor from Ollie. I'm sorry. That is really poor. Yeah, that's a rage quit. That'll be a qualifying ban. Mean runners that are yet to stop, Path, Starfish, Hurricane, Frisbee, and Low, all still soldiering on, while Ultimate is starting to close them down on his hard tyres. And again, those hard tyres should get him to the end of the race. A set of mediums for JBL. Could see him to the end of the race. Starfish barely within DRS range of Hurricane of Path. There we go, Path into pits. That looks like mediums to... No, he's going for a two-stop. Path going for a two-stop. That is interesting. So it's not been Tudie's day at all, as he started right at the top of the field, and now he is stone dead last. Well, effectively stone dead last. Path, meanwhile, getting himself ahead of Sasha into the top 10. That'll deny Sasha any points at the moment, but Path does have a penalty, so Sasha doesn't need to be overly concerned about the penalty at the moment. He's trying to get ahead of Path into the hairpin. Zola joining in on the fray as well. There we go, Zola into the pits. He might be doing a two-stop as well. Path and Sasha still battling over 9th place. Brilliantly played between these two. Very, very well played there. Hats off to you. That's how it's done. JBL, fastest lap of the race so far. Those lap times are going to start to plummet. But remember, I mentioned it briefly at the start of the broadcast, we are expecting rain towards the end of the race. Zola said it should be turning up about halfway through. You could see, as I'm on board with Path right now, you can see it is starting to cloud over quite considerably. It's only going to be a matter of time before the rain starts to fall. And the big question is, how heavy is it going to be? I'm definitely very intrigued to see how it's going to play out. Low gets ahead of Matrix. Ultimate catching up with the front runners who are yet to pit. Ultimate is the de facto race leader. Of course, those that started outside the top 10 may have played an absolute blinder as far as strategy is concerned. They starting the race on mediums to try and stretch them out as long as possible before the rain starts. And that is the yellow flag. That'll be JBL again. Yes, it is. At the halfway point in the race now, that 40-28. This is where Zola said that we should be expecting the rain to start falling any moment now. That'll definitely spice things up a little bit. And we have seen previously that Zola has got incredible pace in the wet weather conditions. And there's Tudi. Tudi with a 3-sec. Tudi with his first track limit penalty. Top 3 still soldiering on. They still electing to stay out. We'll see how it all plays out as we enter the second half of the race. Lap 15, Bull Beast bearing down on Jacob. He is within DRS range. If he can stay in there, he might be able to use it to close down the gap on Jacob in that battle for 5th place. Ultimate is closing in on Frisbee. Meanwhile, strong result here for Ultimate could see him get a very strong points tally, which could cause a massive cut in Frisbee's lead for the Frisbee's lead in the championship. Sky is definitely getting a lot darker now, so we are expecting rain any moment now. Ultimate now within DRS range of Frisbee. That is going to be crucial. This will be the point in the race where the hards are now between the two compounds. The hards are the faster tyre to be on. Yeah, absolutely. The medium runners are praying. The medium starters, that being Starfish, Hurricane and Frisbee, they are praying for the rain to arrive effectively now. And tries Frisbee Knight, he cannot keep up with Hurricane. If anything, he's actually dropping back because he's got Ultimate right on his gearbox. And there it is. Ooh. And that's Ultimate's chance, and he's through. Ultimate's now into 3rd. Did Ultimate get DRS? No, he doesn't. Frisbee's got it. This is simply incredible to see. Bit of a, was a small bit of oversteer from Ultimate. But he is definitely a man on a mission there. Trap Paulos, track limit penalty. Bull Beast finally getting himself ahead of Jacob into 5th place. And Jacob's had it off. Oh, he's gone spinning. That's on the exit of turn 1. Oh, that's a real shame. Not what he would have wanted at all. Still no sign of that rain as we hit lap 17. We're approaching lap 18 right now. Frisbee doing his best to keep within touching distance of Ultimate, which is allowing him to start closing that gap on Hurricane ahead of them. Gap now down to 4.6. Frisbee doing well to keep within DRS range of Ultimate, which is allowing him to help close the gap to his teammate. Hurricane, and look at that. Oh, looks like Hurricane's starting to drop off now from Starfish. Looks like Starfish is doing a lot better at managing his mediums than Hurricane is. Ultimate, meanwhile, the gap is down to 3.6. And there's still no sign of that rain. Medium runners will be wanting to try and conserve their tyres as much as possible. But now Frisbee swallows his pride. Frisbee swallows his pride. He's gonna come in. That means Ultimate is in effectively clear red. Wait just a minute as I say that. Hello? Frisbee. That is very brave. First on to the Inters. Is Trap going to follow suit? Yes, he is. Is it too early for Inters, though? We'll keep an eye on. We'll keep an eye on the times. Lowe gets ahead of Frisbee for the time being. And of course, with the rain on the way, those that have already stopped, so those that haven't stopped yet, they don't have to worry about using a second dry compound. So Starfish and Hurricane may have pulled an absolute blinder here. It is starting to get a lot. It is starting to get a little bit heavier now. The rain is. The intermediate runners, they're plummeting down the order. There's people saying that it's possibly too early for Inters at the moment. You can already see from the onboard angles, from the onboard cameras, that it is starting to get a lot slippier now. Track's getting a lot more slippery. We'll see what's happening as far as the fastest lap situation is concerned. JBL still has the fastest lap of the race, so he'll get that. 1:34.345 inside the top 10. 1:34.6. Yeah, looks like. 1:34.6 from Ultimate is the fastest time inside the top 10. There we go. There goes Starfish. There goes Hurricane. There goes Ultimate. Everyone is going to start coming in. Everyone's starting to come in. Bull Beast. There's Liam. There's plenty of distance between Path and Ultimate, so they don't have to worry about double stacking. They're all coming in for intermediates right now. There goes Path. Jacobs in. Sasha up into 6th place. Frisbee back up to P9. Yeah, it's too wet for Slicks now. Big lock up there from Ultimate to try and get ahead of Hurricane into 2nd place. This is very brave through this section. Side by side, DRS disabled. And Ultimate storms through on the outside. And he gets through into 2nd place. That'll be a very tasty 18 points for him compared to just 4 for Frisbee without penalties being taken into account. And all going to plan here, Ultimate could very well see himself jump into the lead of the championship. Because as I mentioned, time indeed will tell. And there's oh! I don't think Ultimate will be aware of this, but he'll be as I say that. Frisbee picks a track limit penalty, and then Ultimate gets one immediately afterwards. So Ultimate could drop back down to 3rd. He needs to start pulling the gap between himself and Hurricane. He needs another 1.8 seconds. Otherwise he's in trouble. There's the other flag. That's a Ferrari. That's Tootie. He's retired in the pits. That's another rage quit. That's another rage quit. I think that is really poor. There we go. Ultimate starting to close the gap on Starfish. But Ultimate does have that time penalty to take into account. This could prove massive dividends in terms of the Constructors' Championship. Another strong showing from Alpine, but another strong showing at the same time from McLaren. Will help them extend their gap over Mercedes. Gap hovering around 1.2, 1.3 between Ultimate and Hurricane. Try as he might, Ultimate cannot increase that gap between himself and the McLaren behind him. But he is closing in on Starfish. Gap down to 1.7. And there's Zola with a time limit, with a track limit penalty. Ultimate now within a second of Starfish ahead of him. The gap 1.9 between him and Hurricane. Can make this count. 5 to go, including the one they're on. Gap up to 2 seconds between Hurricane and Ultimate. Ultimate only needs another second to maintain second place once penalties are applied. Today could not possibly go any worse if it tried for Frisbee. With the penalty countback taken into account. Yeah, Frisbee going into the pits early, it did not pay off. He took the gamble, it didn't work. And now he could see himself losing the lead in the championship. Gap up to 2.3 between Ultimate and Hurricane. Ultimate needs to get past Starfish ASAP and start building that gap between them. And you can actually see how heavy it is, how heavy the rain is now between these two. How heavy the rain is on the track now. Haas trying to get himself ahead of Sasha into 6th place, but it won't matter because Sasha will jump him on countback unless Sasha picks up a penalty. Ultimate's sitting there wondering, what do I have to do to get past this guy? And that is allowing Hurricane to close that gap. And there's Parth and Frisbee battling over 7th place. Three to go. That's the penalty situation at the moment. Crucial thing is Starfish has more ERS than Ultimate does. So Ultimate's going to need to do this on track, on merit. Because of course there's no DRS in these conditions. There we go. Ultimate's got the gap to above 3 seconds, so he'll keep second place at the moment. And Ultimate's go! Oh, that's huge! Ultimate almost losing it. Frisbee could be breathing a huge sigh of relief there. Ultimate's going to need to do the work all over again. And Starfish really hasn't put a foot wrong all day. Ultimate will drop down to 4th on countback as it stands. So instead of 18 points, he'll only get 12. I don't see Ultimate winning this race now. He'll need to hope that he can keep, at best, 2nd place. Otherwise, Frisbee can take a bit of a breather heading into next week's race in Russia. Ultimate's already got that gap to 2.5 seconds between him and Hurricane. Just needs another half second. That near costly mistake may have killed any chance Ultimate has of winning the race. Bullby's trying to work out a way past Hurricane meanwhile. The 3rd place. Ultimate 4.5 seconds between now and the checkered flag to make up. That's a very tall order. Jacob will jump Path and Frisbee as it stands. As I say, Sasha is not enjoying these wet weather conditions at all. He's struggling to keep up. That gap is actually growing between him and Liam. Here, Bullbeast meanwhile on the verge of 3rd place. It looks like he gets through with ease. The rain is definitely getting heavier. 3.8 seconds now. Ultimate can relax a little bit now. But I don't see him trying anything ambitious to try and get ahead of Starfish and build another 3 seconds on top of that. He needs 4 seconds basically to get the race win and keep it on. They keep it on the track. So 2D, no force feedback at the start. So that's why he retired in the pits. He had technical issues. There's JBL with a time penalty. I reckon another lap or two and Ultimate might have been able to get the win. You can actually see how heavy the rain is now. Starfish can relax now. He's only got a couple of corners to go now. He knows he has this win in the bag. Starfish round the last corner, across the line, takes the checkered flag, wins the Chinese Grand Prix. There's Ultimate P3, P2, sorry, Bull Beast P3, Hurricane P4. 18 points for Ultimate. Look at Sasha, he's got a huge gaggle of cars behind him. Sasha 6. Jacob jumps both Puff and Frisbee. The gap cut by 16 points between Ultimate and Frisbee. I've got to give Driver of the Day to Starfish. I cannot fault his performance all day. The gap between Frisbee and Ultimate was 20 points. The gap has been cut down to just 4 points heading into Russia next week. So we'll get the Irish national anthem. Congratulations there once again to Starfish, the race winner. He definitely deserves Driver of the Day. He started P12 and he got all the way to the race win. That's AD. He didn't put a foot wrong all race. The Ultimate 4 points behind Frisbee now in the championship. And Sasha closes. Sasha dropping a little bit behind in the standings now. But that being said, we'll see what happens next week when we head to Sochi. In the meantime, thanks very much as always for watching, guys. In about an hour's time, we're going to have the X2 race to close out this week's XRL coverage. And then next week, we'll be doing it all again. Dev League on Saturday, Realistic League as well, and then X1, X2, and X3 next week, same time, same place. But until then, thanks for watching and good night.
very much consider apologize for not being there with you man in the combo, but I was there in the stream trying to make a little bit of a commentary in the chat. Maybe slept really, really late yesterday. So. Yes, I'm sorry that this is not a regular thing. So I hope it doesn't happen again.